Sanje Tupe pula mai tupe pula zera mashi yumi ninji jawacha ta ninji seti tanga ninji chambu seta ninji ta ninji chambu le chibayare ninji te semje jigle bine ninji ke chuwe ta ninji chambu seta tunge chenji sinje kana meja Tani Pama Sungi, Linawe, Sinja Kandechine, Taine, Tanye, Parmaine, Kadech, Tonsone, Juma may be ninjas to make individual Juma may be Chikesuna, Kalini Chimbusia. You go put Susu to making Sinja Kandech Chesune, Delia. Negative to be Lojuma, my Bachikituna, and it needs Chambo jealousy. Yan Ninji Gashel the Jinjiki to make an hour 20. Gashel Niji Maki, Pena Tara in the Lia to make it Ganget habit in the 20 yan Gashel Kawaking it in the Yerba. Tala to which you in the Kawaki. Nyel to get you to make it to nature. Nijiki Natalia Kanach test on the Kawaki in the area. But to see the Niji Chipaseti, gay Amari. And Niji Chipaseti Niji Taji Tonsone to net it and to Lojum, which get to Niji Chimbo said together.
So we're at the verse 69, right? Like a mother's love for her only child. So this is the last line. Now, in general speaking, there is a difference between compassion and great compassion. So here, great compassion refers to it is an unconditional sense of wanting to uplift the sufferings of any sentient beings, irrespective of whether that person is your loved one's enemy or a stranger, irrespective of any condition. Whenever one sees a suffering being, sincerely wants to uplift that person's or that being's suffering. That's called great compassion. Whereas may compassion refers to like a person wants to uplift the problem of someone, right? But not everyone's. Particularly a person who harmed or endangered one's own interest or one's loved one's interest, then instead of like just wanting to help them, I mean, like one will not have any desire or aspirations to help that particular persons. So this is like called mere compassion. So mere compassion really confines within the limited scope of sentient beings.
다들 야야 진짜 두번 불렀지 마신도 주민지 저지 다들 아 잠바다 인지 세야지 개침부신 뭐이므레스 인지 세야지 다 간제 전주고 있으면 세야지 매도 붙여들이 매도 따서그 동부들 잠바다 인지를 잠바다 인지지 매도 동부도 붙여야 돼 아니 제가 매도 샤우를 봐 매도 동부면은 매도 샤스메를 봐 그래서 잠바다 인지 세야지 전주 무슨 계획이 때 동부도 붙여야 돼 그래서 아니 인사다 잠바다 인지 세야지 전주 무슨 계획이 동부도 붙여서는 다들 계획이 싶을 때 알았어
Again, in general speaking, loving kindness and compassion are extremely important. Actually, it's a vital important to nourish the bodhicitta, because a genuine sense of loving kindness and compassion springs along with the a trunk of bodhicitta. So it's like for example, there's a tree. The body of that tree is important in a way that it sustains the flowers, buds, leaves. All those are actually comes out of the trees, right? So bodhicitta is the central essence, is the core, and on that base establishment, then genuine sense of loving kindness and compassion springs on that establishment. So therefore, like loving kindness and a genuine sense of loving kindness and compassion are important.
네, 진짜 잠바기 동네들 대화들 천국이 잠바세야 돼. 잠바기 페인들 지단 잠바기 페인 게야. 아니 페인 게 잠바들 인지 세야 잠바들 페인 게야. 그 페인도 빠르면 봐야 돼. 아니 잠바들 가르쳐서는 언제 비춰 인지 그래. 간사 신다도서 랑고 언제 주두야 비춰디 잠바디 말이야. 언제 비춰디 잠바디. 그래서 랑 잠제 뒤에나 내 간걸로 수술 가부 용돼야 돼. 저와디 매나 아니 내 간걸로 파 나가와 쳐도가 아니 심지어는 잠바디 잠바지 아버지에서는 내가 가서 온도도가 온도가 초이스 온도가 초디 잠바인지 그래서 아니 잠바디 어디 잠바세야 돼 이봐 대화된 데는 지마로 그냥 별로 뒤봐 대외 풍시에서 소리 대화된 데는 지마로 그냥 별로 뒤 잠바시기 봐 딘데기지 Jambasingiti, Tachim Shibim, Sanje Jumbo Deli, Tuiki, Tuipo Mambuchi, Jambetoki, Jumbo Imbre. Sanje Jumbo Deli, Chigi, Shendala Chigi, Tuiki of Tinge, Negawa, Jumyara Jet, Jambetoki, Jungia, Michichi, and Teleco. Zubu Legacy, Jumbati Yamarva, Zubu Legacy, any negative on to do to the when stem on to do to Yamari. Because some mega number Jericho could Zubu Legacy to on to do Shabra. What do you on to do, Mary? Lead and Arab to lead it on to do to listen on to do to Yamara. Jambas in yet to come soon. Yes, send the Tony Pay. Same Koran Susula. Jamba community. Send the pay. Cover you. And this seems you want to do to be. What is Santa? The Jamba said, want to be Choi.
Cultivation of loving kindness is extremely important, as mentioned earlier. It's a vital important. And again, as a refresh, loving kindness here refers to it is a genuine sense of aspirations where one truly wants the happiness of for the all mother sentient beings. And that aspiration is so important. To have such aspiration is so important. And by generating such aspiration, there are infinite benefits of generating such an aspiration. And however, all those aspirations can be categorized in 8 different types of benefits, and such as loving kindness is considered as one of the strongest element of empowering others. For examples, like when someone has a genuine sense of compassion, genuine sense of well-being for others, when someone truly wants to see the happiness for others, then naturally, like it will create a positive environment. It will send a positive message to anybody who interacts that persons. Whereas a person, in contrast, if a person adopts a very negative attitude, a very agnostic attitude to others, then naturally it will create a distance, it will create a negative environment, not only within him, but it also sends a similar message to others. So in order to really empower others, it is really important to create a condition first within oneself, generating a positive aspirations, a genuine sense of really wants to see the happiness in other people's mind and heart. And when someone has that, then naturally it will empower others. And the best way to subdue others is through generating loving kindness. By loving kindness, then that will create a powerful sense of energy within ourselves, and that we emit to others to subdue in sense of genuine sense of a total sense of a subdued, right? How to say like it will create a powerful way to subdue and train that other in a genuine sense. Whereas using physical force may subdue other physically and verbally, but it's like a violent will not, violent cannot subdue the minds of other peoples. The only way to subdue the minds of other people is truly generating loving kindness. And it was like a demonstrated by the Buddha Shakyamuni himself when all those Maras, infant Maras, wants to harm the Buddha. Buddha simply subdued those different Maras by generating uh, loving kindness. And loving kindness is the, so therefore loving kindness is the greatest way to empower and subdue the those being who wants to like just who have lots of challenges. So whenever we see a person with enormous of challenges, it's better not to react in a similar way, rather to create a warmth and positivity first within oneself to create a genuine sense of compassion, so loving kindness, and that loving kindness will create a positivity environment within that person's heart and mind. So loving, only the way of loving kindness we can subdue, not with a violent way to subdue others.
아니 닌지 침불에 pen 침부야리 니 닌지 침부 전주 선바싱이 되게 처음 한번 로버지 말했지 전주 선바싱이 최지를 로버지 됐지 제이트까지 닌지 침부 시작 전주 선바는 처음 한번 대지 매베 다조디 양시 지야디 닌지 양장 공제 휴게 그래서는 닌지 야버지 중수는 아니 최트버지 매출 강가를 어디 샤버를 용기 제사 최망벌로 받지 말이 최지를 받지 그랬어 최지부터 가르치는 데다지 닌지 친구 시작 이 로버지 그랬어 돌아야 돈난 뒤에서야 제사다 닌지 친구들 야 가르쳐 그래 예침을 봐. 제가 지금 인데 탐정 자와디 아니 인지 첨부해야 돼. 어디에서 인지 첨부될 해야 돼. 현도 크게 로 현도 등이 로서는 잠바데 인지를 쓰게. 잠바데 인지 써야 돼. 카파로는 제거를 미셔지. 출단이 수술에 삼도해야 돼. 근데 되는 지금 내가 제가 현도 등이 로서야 돼. 현도 등이 로만에 잠바데 인지 쓰게. 전주가 심 개발라 잠바데 인지 현도 등이 로치게. 아니 시행이 되게 전다도 그거를 가르치고 있네. 아니 산재 주고 많던 그것도 쓰잖아요. 저도 좀 등등이 로치게. 현도 등이 로스네. 잠바데 인지 써야 돼. 어떤 제사 야 전주 선바남기 최망불로 로버지기 아마리 최지 수디 닌지 침불로 로버지기 어디에서 가르치는 최지 라디도 치나스 닌지 침부터 라디도 치나스 나베기리나 최탐제 라디도 연구를 했으게 어디들이
So likewise, training on great compassion is vitally important. And as one of the sutras mentioned that bodhisattvas, they will not train in varieties of dharma or practice, rather focus on the essence, which is that great compassion. So bodhisattva, they will really focus on training on the great compassion. So it says that when one is able to place a practice of bodhicitta practice of great compassion as if in your own palm, then the rest of all other practice will come into its own place. So it's this expression that like if when it's expression that like this the expression of placing practice of great compassion in one's own palm refers to its expression equals to like when one truly masters this practice, right? When you master this practice, then it automatically you will master all others. Um, so um, the reason why the reason why we have to truly focus on the practice of loving kindness and compassion, loving kindness and great compassion, because those two practices truly manifest in terms of working towards the well-being of others. Those two are those two practice. And when we speak of bodhicitta, bodhicitta, it's really like extension. Like bodhicitta is the a sense of wanting to help others, right? So help other refers to it is a genuine bodhicitta is a genuine sense of aspirations, wanting to uplift the sufferings of others and wanting to abide them in a state of ultimate happiness. So this aspiration is really the essence of loving kindness and compassion. It is the working for the well-being of others. In order to achieve this, in order to achieve the your aspiration, which is truly eliminating the sufferings of others and abiding them in the state of happiness, then what is the next step? Is wanting to achieve enlightenment for that reason. So wanting to achieve enlightenment is the another aspect of that aspiration. It means fulfilling the interests of your own. So bodhicitta, in essence, fulfill the it's called like dual fulfillment of dual interest. Dual interest refers to your own interest and the interest of all other sentient beings.
다 의시 자주 있으면 중주들 기타 전담 전주 있으면 중주스 군도 전주 있으면 중주스 니야 이나네더니 다 군도 전주 있으면 중주들 다 군도 전 전주 있으면 중주들이야 준대 내가 중주 거는 중주 다시 냠지 거는 중주 니제 아니 lamri tu su kapsu ini to junde menga tu kuni sam chung ju di shege simji ta lo chung kapsu ta xin yang ji kuni sam chung ju di shege is.
Now, in the actual practice for training in the bodhicitta, so it's like then this falls under the topic of training in the conventional bodhicitta and training in the ultimate bodhicitta. Those are two topics. Now, if you look at the first topic, training in the conventional bodhicitta. So this topic further breaks down into two known methods for generating a bodhicitta. By relying on any of those two methods, one can achieve a bodhicitta, and those two methods are: the first method is called sevenfold of cause and effect method, and the second method is called exchanging and equalizing self with others. Now, out of those two methods, according to the Lamrim tradition, Lamrim heavily rely on the practice or the method of the first one, sevenfold of cause and effect method. And whereas Rojong, or the mind training practices, relies on the exchanging and equalizing self with others.
that Lojong said the lama chuva kaps, the lama chuva de Lojong de, yet Lojong de, lama chuva kaps to Nigal Gune, Changju Shed. And what the Mashi did Song Songa, Jamba the Niji Song Songa. That in a daily in it, Yamda Roti. Tunga Tamata images, Tinemati, Dashing Yamji Gunan, Lochang to go to break. He is a Menga Chin to Trinity one said. Dashing Yamji Gunan, Kitu Jeda, Tunde Menga King Gunan, Kitu Nibuti, Menga Nibuti Chin to Trinity Jumjita, Lama Chivaka Shaggy is that.
Now, the text that we are using is the Lama Chopa Rupuja text. And the unique about this particular text is this text, tradition to this text integrate those both two different methods in one stream of practice. Therefore, this practice makes a unique in that regard. Now, having said so, but general presentation, if you look at the general presentation, Lama Chopa text, this tradition can fall into the, in the bigger picture, it can fall into the category of mind training, in a general, in a more like a bigger picture. However, if we specify a specific mode of practice, particularly with the Chitta training, then Lama Chopa has its own unique stand in terms of integrating those two practices in one stream of practice. Now, so for that, up to here, verse 69, we have focused on recognizing all sentient beings as one's mother and so forth, right? So those are the we have done. Now from 70, then 70 onwards, it's stress on the next part of the practice.
That day. 동해 탐문자면 다신염지 주군에 전주무슨 기주디 나 다신염 봤어야 돼. 다신염 봤디 냠 봐야 돼. 가리냠 봤으면 동해 면도가 냠 대화되고 냠 심지어 간제진에 동해 면도가 장장 대화되고 장장 심지어 근데지 누구 중에 대화되고 지당 동해 면도니 장장인 거래. 자산 동해 면도가 냠바리 대화되고 냠바리 세디 동해 탐문자에 면도지 세디 야 면도지 대라 남이야 조심해 봐니 동해 탐문자디 누구 말이 있어 대화를 근데 대화 근데 중에 초시다는 매버리 집어인 거 그래서 동해 탐문자에 면도지 대라 남이야 조심해 봐니 아데 대화를 근데 대화를 가는데 초심해 봤을 때 단지 삼사답지 매번 지 나는 초심해 봤을 때 들이 고민 잘하지라서는 아니 딘디야 말씀이 딜레타지지 삼을 당겨봐 산이 딜레타지 좀선나 딜레타지 삼 동그리 메시지 고무 자디리다 고무 자중서 단지수 스제니 삼루동이 야말에 뒤가는 요약 탑시 진짜 지리하러 봐. 제대 집어래. 저같이 중수는 아니 저와 가제 주네. 어떻게 저와 되게 침송 선발없지. 쟤는 되겠지. 매일인데. 저와 가제 주네. 초심해 봤어야 돼. 라나지 론주 근데 중에 초시자는 야말로 되게 집어래. 어제 제사 동네 참모자에 문제지 달라나면 초심해 봤니스. 다들 현에 개발이 수도다 현달에 개발자니 야말이스. 어디 삼루트 땅굴이 있지.
So please look at the verse 70. No one wants even the slightest suffering, or is ever content with the happiness they have. In this, we are all alike. Inspire me to find joy in making others happy. So now, so from the 70, it begins with the practice of equalizing and exchanging self with another. According to this method, so first step is equalizing self with others. So how to say? Finding a common ground, right? So just like ourselves, right? Just like me, right? Just like me, I do not want a suffering. I do not want problems. So too, others are same in that regard. Nobody wants problems. Just like myself, I want to be happy. I want to be successful. I want all the good things, right? So what's the difference to others? They are same in that regard. So that is our common ground, right? That's we have to equate. We have to see in that perspective. We are equal. There's no difference. Difference that we have is the physical structure, the skin color, right? All those are the differences, but those are the minor differences. Our ultimate aspirations are same, right? So it says, no one wants even the slightest suffering. That's the truth, right? No one wants, including myself. And or is ever content with the happiness they have. The more we want, the more we have, the more we want. When you have $100, then I want more, right? So it is like it is just like drinking salted water. It will never quench our thirst.
다디 디 냠바세지 지다 양 땅님세도 그미야를 이야리 니리 차다니들 땅님세 니엘라 니 차바지야다 달라다와지야 근데 재미지기 말이 있으니 차다니들 땅님지 그리 있어야지 여러분 어디 디다다데 디땅님세데 저와 민들바 저와 되면요 동네 민들바냐 봐세요 인데기 삼루티 다 야부치 당기는 아니 라나 동네 두기 아마르바 동네 민들바나시 파조데 동네 두기 민들바레 삼버바치 주나 아니 그런 바치야다 아니 바르보라 안나바치야로 소바두수 까투그르바 란 동네 민들바나시 코에 동네 민들바레 삼 네 너바치리 말이 삼사티 삼노쿠그르바 네 지르다 대원들바나시 코레 대와지 대와들바 샤다리 삼네니치 편바두야기 삼노키그르바 디메 네베이나 아니 삼루티 네베이나 야부치 네베이나 딘 바르불라 냐 간에 그래서 never chialo soba yarba. No, no, did it. King Santi, Tambuti Tashinyam Jikune, Chanjusim Kiba, Siati, Tambuti, Chanjusim Kibal Ping, Sashi of Che, Sashi Bay, Nyambuchukubiari. Sadi Nyambu Mena, in a Chulu Shavin, Chudi, Congo is the Chudi there. There's the young Bartan, Budan used to Chuchag Marba, or Dimum Nashi, and it Janjusim the Kangalology, Kiagi, Jabala Tambu, Kangalo, Sinja Kandichi in a Jawa de Batan, to name in the Nyambas Jenipe, Sem Yapuji Nobach, group here, Till Tusunan, Janjusim the get to wear. Tatanji Sajati Badambu Jarachi Vena, Sajati Chutena, Gasheli Chut Yapu Yunguri, Gasheli Chut Nevacharia. Gogo de Gana Chutu Marva, Chuganga Shungshunan Duraba. And it Dodo de Ganaya, Dodo Yapuki Marva, Shingarabji, Badambu Jarachi Kana Shingatapshana. And ya Dodo Yosidegana, and Dodo Yapuki Marva. Chutu Semerva. Mashung should have done Dundo Yapukirva. But it is what did Nashi Janetat and the Nyala, Janju Simkiva, Nyala, Kitu Chilla, Mashetin, Sum Samata, Kituji. Kitu Chilla, Mashetin, Jin Society, Samu Matane, Yawangamala Super, Mashetin did in suit at some time. Yawangamane chi Mama Buchang Yumbarvaches, some Gurva, some into Yawangaman, some Chitangurva. Yan Gasheti Yawangama Sayati Lola Mashunya Gina Ni Mashitin Sugukone, Janjugusim Kiati, Yapu Yumarva, Yawangamalas, some Yaputon Matunietina. But Telecaragores Tashinyam Jessing it. Cannot jawab Medubatan to name into the cheaper Sayati. Sinja Kandrich in a Jawab Medubatan to name into what they want to shatter. Ryan did to us. Or those Janity, Declan and Janjusim to Sayati. Jebet, Dijebet, Krisa, Chayat Jeverba. Not that it does. Tashinyam Jessi did it. Tadashi Yambert. Nyamba said, Tata she Yamta the Garis in the Jordan to name to Yamba said. And Jewas in the Kagari. Tata Tashi Yamba said.
Now, so when we think of like equalizing an exchange set with another, according to this method, the first step is to create this even or the equal sense in a way that others are no different than yourself. Your difference is not, you are no different than the others. From the perspective of what you truly desire, happiness, what you truly desire is we do not want a suffering. So in that respect, right, we are same. So this is important to create such finding that common ground where we can truly exercise our spiritual wheels, right? To really regard others as same in that respect. And this is very important. Now, so this, like in this method, the first step is to finding that equal, right? And in a similar way, the first method, sevenfold of cause and effect method, has a different approach. We call that economity, right? So that economic refers to there's a difference. Approach is a difference. In that first method, they're finding like a in that first method, they use the approach is the reason why we develop easier to develop a positive attitude towards your loved ones. Right? Very difficult to help to feel compassion towards your enemies and indifferent attitude to the strangers. Right? So to even out such a conditions, then the goal is to create uh, the goal is to create uh, 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 the goal is to reduce the gap of uh, uh, loved ones and the enemies, right? Goal so create is to reduce the gap between the loved ones and the enemies, rather to see all in that equal, right? Because all beings has been my mother. So that is the actual first step. And just like our present mother, how kind they are, and the all beings are kind in that regard because they have been our mothers. Because as a Buddhist, we believe in previous life. Now, the problematic is if a person doesn't believe in life after or life before, then that person has a harder time to uphold this practice because it's a problematic to to accept that life after and life before, right? Isn't it? Now, this one good solution is then the next method, exchanging, equalizing, and exchanging self with others. In that method, as we say, finding the common ground, right? We don't have to establish the existence of the previous life of the future life. Whereas in order to generate bodhicitta, first is to find the common ground, right? Which is just like yourself wants the happiness, so too what's the difference with the others? They are same. So this is vital importance because the land has to be even to have a good harvest for a farmer, right? Because if the land is lots of holes and the bumps, then there will be a problem for the farmers, right? So in order to have a good harvest, first thing farmer needs to do is to even out the service of the earth, right? Or the farm, whatever the land, that property that farmer has. So for spiritual practitioners, in order to harvest the bodhicitta, right? First, we need to really uh, eliminate uh, the uh, bias, and this sense of a conditional, right? I will do only this if, or something like all those things we need to even out, right?
아, 다 됐지. 다 되네. 다 되네. 라니 진지, 라니 제바데 존에 디스. 다 되네 봐 다시 해야 돼. 다 단데디 다시 냥 봐서 되지. 근데 다시 재워서 돼. 다 다시 재워서 돼. 라니 다시 지인도 근데 수적을 했으면 라제 받는 멜로디 동네 탄지를 잡아주셔서 실제 받는 멜로디 인데 탄지를 잡아주셔. 나라들의 강에 간절히 최선을 쳐야지 라진 받는 멜로디를 듣는 중국도 아니 라를 지 대화당 지 팬데 간에 중앙디 현심제 제번 짐발했더니 중앙 실제번 멜로를 때는 중앙디 삼로야 땅 이제스는 아니 라진지 로티 단답도 라체번 제번지네 대버봐 셴 여월도 셴 여월도니 드러봐 단답도 다티 단답도 라체번지 셴 여월도 있으니 단답도 강에 상모도디 라체번지 셴 여월도 디용그 제버리스 제선 다티 라체번지 멜로디 그거 탐지기 자리 현재번지 멜로디 연대 탐지기 자리 다티 삼로 단수는 아니 라체번지 멜로디 파돌 현재번지 멜로디 추이래야지 탑시지야 이 대신 제세야 돼 다신 제세야 돼 상반이부터 라진지 멜로디도 현진지 여월도 멜로디부터 제구야 아니 여월도 현재번지 바세디 레기야 이 가르스는 디 레야기 탑시들 라진지 멜로디야 전망부이부터 다 현진지 멜로디인데 탐지 자와인부터 다구야 다티 이상 라니 제번지 종내디 종내디 내이나 내 종내 시도 잠바 자야매베 내지여봐 뒤뒤도 배 자야매베 내지여봐 어디 내지도 집어리스 라니 제번지 종내디 제 맨도 동네 찾아봐주죠 내디는 종내디였으나 그뒤에 기부야 말봐 맨도 동네 찾아봐주죠 맨도에 동네 간가 잡아는 싶어버리스 이 밥도 통내 레렌데라 큰도 문제디스 라니 제번지 종내디 맨도 동네 제배 교통내스 레렌데라 아니 동네 간절히 중요하디 그런 게 레시아스는 레렌티 콜라다고 라진지들 레렌티 신다지를 더 기매버리 그만을 받쳐서 그가지지제 제수스 강에 체인도 지지지 안에 받쳐서 지지지 세야 지야르바 어디 말이 라진지디 제버리스 그런데 디세야 소리지 아니 레렌데라스 큰도 숨제티 아니 라진 번들로 들려 큰지 지단가에서는 나를 답아도 돼 강에 나를 중요히 라진지를 들로 들이셨어 단답도 강에 맞춰야 돼 라진지를 들려 투셨어 그걸 큰지 제고야 라진지를 들려 이네 어떻게 다 레렌데라 큰도 숨제티 있어야 돼 당지든지 좀 받친지로
Now, so with this, like the first part of, when we look at this, the second method, so here second method refers to equalizing and exchanging separate matter. So we finish with the first part, equalizing, right? How to equalize. So the next part is exchanging. So this exchange refers to exchange the attitude, right? So far, our attitude or our priorities is me, right? Me always comes first, right? That's what's wrong with protecting my own interest. I lies in the center, right? I come first. So now we need to change that. The reason is it causing the problems. Well, it really is the source of all the problems. And change to what? So far, we don't much emphasize, we don't much put prioritizing the interests of others, right? So we need to change that. Put more focus on others. Prioritize that, because focusing more on the interests of others, it will bring more happiness to oneself. Actually, therefore, it's important to change that attitude, right? Exchange that. So first one, we technically we call it self-cherishing. It's really like how to say, like an instant gratification. Like I want this. Right. So we need to stop those, right? Because that attitude is the source of all the unpleasant. That attitude is the source of all the problems. Whereas technically it's called like cherishing for others, right? So it really means that really like just trying to see the beauty in others, trying to see the positivities for the others, right? And putting interest, really like just having this a sense of caring for others, right?
Correct.
No.
Ah,
Ke back this minute. Log that time this minute. Log.
That's it.
That's it.
That you get him. Get out it.
So right. So I get distracted. I get distracted. See, it's very important. So this is like it's if we truly like with when we in a calm state of mind truly investigate, thoroughly try to see beyond our problems, then any problem that we arise, it's really something to do with me, right? Therefore, actually, it's important to stop this attitude, because if we truly listen our heart, we don't want the problems. And how those problems are arising, it's really like this the fragile me, right? So it's really important to build immune to that fragileness through cherishing for others, right? So with this, please look at the verse 71. Seeing that the chronic disease of self-cherishing is the cause of my unwanted suffering, right? See here. So that's the attitude we should adopt. Self-cherishing. Self-cherishing is like a chronic disease, right? So that's the bad, right? We don't want that. Right? We need to heal from such a chronic disease. How? Through cherishing others, right? Because that really, like a self-cherishing, is the source of all the unwanted problems. Inspire me to put the blame where blame is due. Refers to whenever we get any problem, whenever like we are put in a situation, right? If not 100%, but most of the time we blame for others, right? That person did something, or it's not me. We try to blame for others. We never have even a slightest moment that I'm the responsible, right? It's really important to accept, acknowledge right? And that will cease the problems. Because we always tend to look for blame for others, right? If someone truly wants to find out who the real problem maker, it's self-cherishing, right? Self-cherishing. So where it says, inspire me to put the blame where blame is due. Self-cherishing, right? And vanish the great demon of clinging to self. It's the self-cherishing. We hold so strongly onto the self-cherishing. So we need that holding, grasping firmly onto the self. It's just like we are under the, how to say, claws of a demon. We need to liberate from that claw, right?
Then Narani Jeban the Jonin is Rani Jeban the Jonin Rajin the Loti you do them but Milam Naya Milam Chu Chitansune any Jita Chimish Gigituga could not to your own Rana never ching na shabri, never ching yamariti. Jina shibuki. The carson ranch in the glow to shoot chambusa. Milam nanape, Rana never ching tying the Jita gaiety. Ranch ever never ching the shoot chambuya, yes, I. The could never ching yamariti, never ching Milam the chin. Some tune in the jumbo. The junior did somebody. Detach mistake give it. The ranching is a lot shooting me with daddy. But did it? Any suggestion that you never chess on the Milamda. A suggestion that you Milam never chivarity mixuna. Jita give marba. Shanking the lot never teacher. The ranching the lotish. Kumji Shida Chevi and Sanitani Milan Rana never changed Johnson. Nia me said to the Manguna shot anything to ring to ba. You could have ranching the Tilo Chev, Chinti Chever. It's cheaper of China Milam na Shana never changed me Milam time in December. Yeah. Jidangi, Jinaki Marva. Tandoti minum did Kawakumia in Gayarva. Tan Megawas Chilia never Chavich Tonsana Yam Minum Kawakubiagi. Digging nearby Yangayarva to Karesene, Shantin Diti, Shan Samnatang Nebate, Shangi Tiki Samnatang Nebe, Tadi River. Somebody shooting, which you never in Santirva. What do you say? Rajin the Lotiana Minam Chunjelo Jinai Chitaki Chichiati Rajin the Lotirva Shuchabu. The Vachi Chachim Bajudun and Lamzana to Gugure Chikitua. Rajin the anything that you get about. I think that never in it. Kuguchi Kuyan do it. That could crown chiches and yerba. Or they did it just at that ranch in the Gloseti. Dine Kange Kanga ranch in the Milam Nale Kange Cherati, ranch in the only chever. Ranch in the Tindius Lochiman and Milam Net did me by name. Kange in the Tin Marba.
So even in our dreams, right? Let's say when we had a nightmare, right? So I mean, most of the time we can really like just, I mean, it's possible that some people get a sweat, right? In that night during that nightmare. So if we truly examine this, like that is the testimony of how strong the sexuality is. So even in the dreams, so when we had in a dream somebody's going to hurt you or harm you in a dream, you are chasing it, right? It's really like a dream. Nobody is chasing you, harming you. But it is your self-cherishing that is so strong that even in a dream, we don't want to get hurt. And that is truly a testimony of how strong the self-cherishing is. When there is an unusual sound pops up, we get enlightened. This is sound, but it's self-cherishing, right? Self-cherishing. So that's we can say that conclude that self-cherishing is the source of all the problems. And that is the testimony of how strong the self-cherishing we have. In contrast, let's say a person who you hate most, and in a dream, that person goes through in trouble. We might get rejoiced when we wake up in the morning, oh, I had a good dream. Why? The person that you hated most had like just some trouble, right? But even in a dream, that is also shows that strength of your loving kindness, compassion for others. In other words, self-cherishing, strength of the self-cherishing, right? So it's actually it shows the lack of that strength as the weakness, how weak your self-cherishing for others, right?
Atatiri. Tati, Marando Vitade Tumne Kanga Yati Raj Chinji, Pena Jawanga Mala Raj Chinji Ongi, Raj Chinji Ongi, Sheng Soche, Raj Chinji Lochiki, Nesele, Rangis, Karisuri, Sogyo Chairs, Rangi Chigi. Chöchido, Shing Soche, Yan Rangi Tiki Chit, Shall never chet. Other Ganjay Yarvata, what was Kanga Tiri, Ranchin the only Chiyarva. Others Javin Santa Kanje, Dande Ran Kangek Chair Kanga, Ranchin the only Cheshire Janja in Chesa, Mendu to make it to Tunis, Mendu to get in Dugia Mare. Tunge Mendu ya Tungeti, Yoyati Karesene, Rangi, Nama Jusa Serva, Raji the Wangi, Shall never check. Raji the Yogi. Lem Karesuri. Chudamati Belega, Sheva Yasata, Mendu to Mess, Data Dugi Amar to me, Dugi Amar de to me, Jayati Karesene, Susugi Judy, Raji the Nama Just Savarva. Sabi in Santa Cruz. Mendu Naya to make the Kikuya Kares and Raji the Wongi Yema, the Jusabarva, the Isa, Mendu to make Jebi to Tones, or the chet, Tati Lenender Kudu. Tati Yanjo, so Cherry to Tinit. Did you do that?
So here, like no one wants even the slightest suffering, right? No one wants even the slightest suffering. However, we do experience a suffering. Why? Because we already accumulated the causes and condition of those sufferings. Why we have accumulated the causes and condition of those suffering? Simply because self-cherishing. Self-cherishing. So if we truly look more insight into any non-virtuous actions or activities, it's because of self-cherishing. For example, if you look at the act of killing, right? While we kill, for example, let's use more simpler example, right? So for in olden times, people either harvest the domestic animals, right? Why? Because it's that person's well-being, right? it really comes to like my well-being, my family's well-being. And they keep those domestic animals for either they will kill or take their skins or furs or whatnot. It really comes down to me and my, or someone kills the wild animals. It's the same. Right? Either it can be done with uh, anger or attachment or ignorance. So any of those we kill. So with this, it's really like any non-virtuous actions that we commit. It really comes down to the self-cherishings. Right? So therefore, realizing that self-cherishing is the source of all the problems, we must recognize and acknowledge that self-cherishing is the ultimate demon, ultimate source of all the problems.
다시네 다리때 예샤티네 lama chopa 어때네 장구를 묻히기 중가 되지라 중가 되지 인상들이 계기 초바를 주피 장구를 묻히다 어때 진짜 중가를 되지인데 이 지역에 그래서는 먼저 따바리시 가리라고 그랬지 뭐 지위와 뭐 지에도 그랬습니다 장구를 묻히디 그래서는 네 점이 주로 위켜봐매봐 미리 위켜봐매봐 농제를 위켜봐매봐 지금 강걸로를 배 잠재시거디 강걸로를 겹투니 근데 장구를 묻히나 신지 민두가 야말에 지금 컴들 아니 가르스 그래 지금 컴들 때 야말에 말 산제 또 산제 준대대 패드에 딘적이 이 주로 강금 구투니 아니 딘적이 단데 개고 강걸로를 패 지기 미마기 가부지야 주로 강걸로 가부지야 이 가르에서는 영물을 묻히기 아니 미리 건드치기 디기트에 두개야 semna digite tuya chulu gande chili ne digite tuya 이까르에 쓰는 장문을 묻히겠다 선제 탐제 대화다 동해민들과 충분해야지다 아니 선제 탐제를 배 근데 지대 감는 디기 배보다 지금 메시를 강에 만부주의해야 돼 잠재 풍부 디인버디 하고 그러거든 여기 잠재 캬베다 이니다 영어는 지 날씨 좀 누가 양말이 매번에서는 그런지 그런지 지야디 그런지 더 지야디 안티레스 중간으로 세라서 왔지다 그때 대학이 많은 기회가 왔는데 이제 많아지고 어디 지역까지 들이 제사 어두 스트레스 들이 지역까지 들이
So for the teaching itself, we will stop here for today. So rest of the time, first we will do the talk, Guru Puja talk. And why we are doing this talk today is to celebrate His Holiness Bodhin Dalai Lama's birthday. And again, why we are celebrating His Holiness Dalai Lama's birthday, because there's so many reasons. First and foremost, uh, at the end of the teaching, we recite the dedication prayer for the Avalokiteshvara, right? And that is for the, actually it's a prayer for His Holiness Dalai Lama. And why it's important to do this prayer, because His Holiness Dalai Lama is the paragon of virtue. He truly sees all sentient beings in a, he sees all sentient beings in an equal, how to say, in an equal manner. There's no, uh, there is no, like, he truly respects all religion. He respects all nationalities. He respects all beings and develops loving kindness, compassion for all beings. Therefore, it is important to venerate such a person, such a right. So with this, it is important to venerate and to celebrate uh, for this wonderful occasion. And if we look at in the present world conditions, it's very hard to see someone like His Holiness, where he truly cherished the well-being of all people. So that is the one important reason why we are celebrating His Holiness, the 83rd birthday celebration.
Yeah, yeah.